Hey there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel. You guys, I did it. I finally finished 2022 in my Project Life album. Volume 2 of 2022, which runs from July 1st through December 31st, is completed. And I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys a detailed flip through of this album. So go ahead and grab a beverage and let's dive right in. Okay, so most of these spreads I have shared on Instagram. A lot of them I've shared here on YouTube with process videos. Some of them I have not shared because there are detailed process videos for them in my Plan Prep Play class. I will link that class down below. It is still for sale over at Ali Edwards. I am not going to share a lot of detail about those spreads because they are process videos in that classroom and part of a lot of content that I shared in that classroom that I have not shared elsewhere. For my cover page here, I included a photo of me and my daughter that we got taken in October, so during the middle of this time frame. This is July through December. We got professional photos taken primarily because they were her senior photos, but we got some taken of the two of us. I love this one. I blew it up to 12 by 12, cropped it down to fit into these pockets, and added these embellishments from my stash to put the dates and just some different embellishment and title on here. I went through a divorce in 2022, and splitting the first half of the year and the second half of the year kind of was the good splitting point. So this is the album where it's just me and my daughter. Moving into July. So the first week I did July 1st through 10th because a lot of that was just like me relaxing, spending time by myself, just doing a bunch of things. And Summer went with her dad on a vacation. And so I just kind of didn't do a ton to document this week. And then what I did do was she came back and she bought her first car. So I wanted to blow that up and highlight it as half the week. So this half was just kind of like an overview of all the things that I did while she was gone. And then this was her car. And I love doing this when there are big things and having it take over half of a week. And this was more than 1 week because of just the split in the year. I always want to start the second album in July 1st. Moving into the second week of July, we got our hair done. I'm working with the Studio Calico kit here. I did use the Studio Calico kits in 2022. I stopped using them in 2023. I no longer subscribe to them. So I was using it for at least one spread each month in 2022, and this was their July kit. This was the quarterly scrapbook kit from Ali Edwards. This was a black and white kit. I really loved the color themes that they had last year. They had a black and white and they had a rainbow, and those were two of my favorites that they had. I loved how this black and white kit worked in Project Life. I had a lot of fun with it, and I cut out this paper, which was a 6x8, to use as journaling spots to include my 6 stories from the week. And then just like I'm doing this year, I ended out each month with the Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards, and I used some of the repeating elements, this one, this one, this one, and this one, every single month to kind of just have some repetition. And that pretty much it was 4 journaling cards and a title card that I have to kind of recap. And then I believe this one and this one I used to do recaps of the month and just kind of like highlights. And then the other ones I used for stuff from that specific week. Moving into August, this is one of the story kits. I believe this was the Good Story kit. And I did pull some stuff out of my stash, like this one I thought was super fun. I love when I have something in my stash that works perfectly for photos that I have. I went to one of my friend's daughter had a grad party and she had a photo booth, so we have some photos from that. I moved to a new cubicle at work. My daughter took her driving test. So they're just like a bunch of little stories. Then the August stories, or kit from Studio Calico, the August monthly kit from Studio Calico, their documenter kit is what they call it. I think one of the reasons I canceled Studio Calico is sometimes they just have some things that like kind of weird to me, like this with the vegetables. It's cute, but it doesn't really, I don't know, it just was weird for the themes. They're not super general themes, but they're also not like jumping off themes like Allie's kits. So that was one of the reasons I think I stopped using them, although I do love a ton of their products. This week, let's see, I got a new rug. My apple tree grew some apples, which I was really disappointed this year in 2023. I am not getting any apples. My trees kind of didn't do so well, but they are still alive and they're okay. And they are baby trees, so the fact that they got apples at all was kind of weird. Then this is the Unexpected Story Kit. I love this story kit. Unfortunately, it's one I haven't really gotten a chance to work with that much. I didn't do any really stories with it yet, but I did do it in Project Life, and I just had a ton of fun with it. I really like just the style and the colors. It was just very fun. And it was fun to make a very specific theme work for Project Life. Here's the August Stories by the Month. So I think I actually used this one for 2 spreads, yes. Because this kit had these cards in it, and this one, I just love them. I wanted to use them, but I also, in the next week here, you can see I have my same where I do these repeated cards every month. So I wanted to do this kit again so that I could use these ones. I love when the story kit has something like this where it can be repeated throughout the spread. It works so well for me. I also made these cards using the stories or the stamp that comes with the Stories by the Month. I did some repeated stamping. These, I believe I cut out of a 4x6 card to add some additional stories. And I just love this format of having the photos like this. And I kind of missed the 12x12 for this year in 2023. I'm working with the 9x12 size. So I just don't have as many 4x6 pockets, which works for my life right now. But I do love this where you have the photos across and then the journaling and vertical photos in the middle. Here, to move into September, I have the August Stories by the Month kit with the repeated pieces. I just didn't have as many photos this week, so I had some filler. I did some stamping filler. Summer was sick again, and I was burned out. It was just kind of a rough time, a busy time. Then moving into September, this was the Numbers Quarterly Scrapbook Kit. I love how this spread came out. I think this might be my favorite spread in this entire album. I'm not sure though, because as I keep flipping, we'll see. But these came from a 6x8 paper. I cropped it down and made it work onto the 4x6 cards. And that's something to keep in mind. A lot of the 6x8 papers from Allie Edwards have these prompts on them that you can crop down and make them work in 4x6 pockets very, very well. I like when I include the news and like things that happen in the world. I forget to do that a lot, but I did do that here. And then my daughter started her senior year of high school. So I had first day of school pictures. Then the Studio Calico kit for September. My friend came to visit. Hobonichi my Hobonichi arrived. Ooh, that's exciting. Just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of work, very busy. Then let's see. This is the Freckled Fawn kit. So starting in September of 2022, I was on the Freckled Fawn. I still am on the Freckled Fawn design team. And so I do a monthly spread with their kit. This was the September kit. Their kits include 3x4 cards and 12x12 papers. So I do crop down a lot of the papers to make 4x6 cards because they don't come with 4x6 cards, but I really like the flexibility of kind of making my own. There's always like label stickers, so I had a lot of fun using those. I got another apple from my tree. Then let's see, ending September with the Stories by the Month kit, again with those 4 repeated cards and title card. I had a lot of photos this week, so I included a few here. It was just a very busy week, again, including the news with these screenshots from today's front page. My daughter had her senior night at cross country, so I had a bunch of stuff from that, a picture I took of her poster, then just a bunch of pictures they took, and then getting outside with the fall trees. It's just so, so pretty. I love New York. I live in upstate New York, so New York in the fall is just amazing. Here's the October Studio Calico kit. I did briefly join another creative team for Layered Life, but then the company went out of business. So this was when that announcement happened. I did have a flip pocket here for a little bit of some private journaling. I really liked the Studio Calico kits for having some like more creative cards like this with journaling spots. I got my hair dyed red, which was just very new for me. So I had a lot of fun documenting that. I had fun with these tags. This kit was a really fun one to work with. I cut out a lot of the cards. That's another thing with the Studio Calico kits is they come with so many cards, which is great if they're the only products you work with. But because I only want to use them for one spread a month, the kits were kind of piling up. So I cut out a bunch of the cards. So like this was from a card, this was from a card. And I don't know how well you can see that on there, but you have to kind of like see where it can reflect the gold. But it says, be patient with yourself. Nothing in nature blooms all year, which I loved that sentiment. Then here, this one is a week I did like all photos. So I didn't use a kit. This was the week of my 36th birthday. And I'll put this up for a second so you can see there were just so many things that happened this week. I just decided to do just photos, and I added just a little bit of journaling. Not really that much, which I was totally fine with because the photos themselves tell the story. I did create some pages in here that these were from my Plan Prep Play class. You could see like I didn't do that a ton in this album. I have done that in the past in Project Life, but when I get super busy and I'm working on other things, I don't tend to add a ton of extra pages in here, which is totally fine. I just do it as I feel like making them and as they fit in the album in terms of when stories take place. This is the October kit from Freckled Fawn. I really loved these wood leaves. I heat embossed them green and used them to type some journaling cards and create titles for them rather than using the journal cards from the kit. And I had a ton of fun with that. Here's the October stories by the month, finishing up the week or the month. So again, I use these 4 cards and then I fit in a couple other ones from the kit and adding these 2 on here so I could get more stuff in. I did a few of those where it's like 2 3x4s in a 4x6 pocket, because as I started to get towards the end of 2022, I started to see that trend where I just don't have that many 4x6 photos anymore. You could see here I had 2, and one of them my daughter took and sent to me, and another one was like a flat lay that I could have taken any kind of angle. So really I'm just taking vertical photos. And so that's one of the reasons I switched out of the 12x12. The November Stories by the Month kit. I loved the cool colors, or not cool, they're calm colors of this spread. And I documented, this was actually a screenshot of the process video I was making because I cut out, that was, let's see, that's this spread here. And I cut out this pumpkin from one of the cards, and my cat was sitting over there on my desk when I was doing it, and as soon as I cut it out, he jumped up and grabbed the piece of paper, the scrap from around this, and I thought it was so cute. So I had to screenshot that and document Pumpkin interrupting my video. Very, very adorable. Getting outside for hikes. Fall, like I said, is amazing weather. Just beautiful where I live. Voting, baking cookies, just a very fall vibes. Then here, this is working with the Freckled Fawn kit for November, which was a black and white themed kit, which was super fun. And I had a lot of fun with it. Again, that kit is only 3x4 cards, which works really well for my style. So what I decided to do for this spread was, other than the title card, do all 3x4 and turn the 4x6 pockets into 2 3x4s side by side. And I had so much fun with this, and I love, love, love how this turned out. And then here's the November Stories by the Month, wrapping up the end of November. I had an insert for this week because this was Thanksgiving. So in addition to using those, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I've been using. And this one, I was able to use more from the kit. I think that one and that one. probably maybe these two were also from it, and this one. And then I was able to, and that one, and I was able to pull in a few from my stash here. And just really, you know, kind of dig deep into prepping for Christmas and then Thanksgiving, and having it all kind of split a little bit, where this side was the Thanksgiving side and this side is the getting ready for Christmas. Thanksgiving is not a big deal for me, so I really didn't have a ton to document, but my daughter did some Thanksgiving stuff, so I did document that. Here is moving into December. This one is in my Plan Prep Play class. It was stash busting. This one in December was also in my Plan Prep Play class, but this was using the Stories by the Month, the quarterly scrapbook kit that was tag theme. Here was another stash busting one in that class. And then here is moving into the week of Christmas. I used the Studio Calico kit. I had finished through here pretty while ago. Actually, I think I finished, I think I hadn't done like this spread and then the rest of it towards the beginning of 2023. And then I kind of took a break from this album and I went back and finished it very recently, just getting this one done now that we're in the summer of 2023. You can see I mixed up my stamp there. That's okay. I know this is 2022 and I fixed it for the next one. Some journaling, again, doing the 3x4s in the 4x6 pockets, just based on my changes in style in what photos I take. And then here's the last week of the year. I just didn't have a ton of photos this week because the end of December daily kind of makes me want to stop taking photos and just kind of relax. So December 26th through 31st was very, very quiet. So I was able to include some filler, and I had to go back and kind of journal stuff that happened, you know, a long time ago at the time I put this one together. So it's obviously a different perspective, but I'm still very happy that I have it in here. And then I finished off the album using the Remember Story Kit from Ali Edwards, and except for this one card, which was from Studio Calico. I think it was from the December. Yeah, when I was working on this, I pulled that one aside to put here because it's the best songs of 2022, but it had a background that just didn't coordinate. So I cut it out and put it on a paper that was from the Remember kit so that everything would coordinate on here. I did some reflecting on like the biggest changes that happened in 2022, and just kind of like an overview of the year. And then here I picked one photo from each month of the year to have an overview recap, either photos of me or photos of my daughter, except for this one, I guess, was just the rail trail because I did get out there a lot in November. But that is the end of my Project Life album for the second half of 2022. If you want to see the first half of 2022, I do have a flip through of that one. That one will be linked at the very end of this video. And if you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them down below. And I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.